All right. The Illusion of Immortality, Part 3, and hopefully the final part if I finish it in time. So, yesterday, me and a friend, we were talking about. I like to hang out with people who are not my age anymore because. So, this person, he said something something back in 2015, and for him, 2015 was like this milestone, which was a special time in his life, and he remembers significant things in uh, things that happened in 2015. I don't, and I think that's because 2015 in his lifetime is like 2007 in mine or whatever. I was somewhere here in 2015. I thought hard back to which year that was, and I remember that I switched jobs a couple times, so several things happened in 1 year. Also, several years kind of stick together in. So, why I call this the illusion of immortality is because we're still using air quotes when we talk about immortality. Illusion is when something's actually not there, but illusion is when something passes through your head, like you get that feeling of I wish I lived for longer or whatever. And I think why that happens is because of this. Now, as I said yesterday, what happened was I was over here, somewhere here, and then he was over here. A few years ago, I talked to a person who was over here, and I was somewhere here, and he told me that, after school life, things just become one long, like, you can't really tell years apart from years, and several things may happen in 1 year, so you kind of lose track of time. Now, I feel like the longer you live, your sense of the way you see the world, the way you see time, the total number of the sum of all your experiences and how you see the world is now different. So when you get to around this age, which is like the maximum lifespan, you feel like, oh, I wonder what's gonna. I mean, some people might tell you that they feel like their time on earth is not done because they want to spend time with these people here. They want the young kids to get to their age because they're going to be over here and tell these guys advice like you shouldn't sit with your back crooked on a chair, and these guys are going to be like okay boomer or whatever. And also we got to talk about how millennials and whatever, the longer people live as a whole. Yeah, so people today, because of technology, because of tomes, and because of because of how written history has taught us several things, people live more than just a few decades, a few centuries. They actually have, so we might actually be on a different scale. But as far as personal experience goes, this is where we should also talk about how what happens when some of these stones are taken away. Like if you don't actually have these stones in the places they're set, and this gets shorter, we say that some people have to mature faster or whatever, so the shape and size of this key in their life might be formed of a different thing. It might be made of the same stony material instead of the metal. They may not find that optimism or whatever. And also, this is important, just as we were talking about older people. I was once invited to a little girl's fourth or third birthday party, and the way she said it was really interesting because, she invited me herself, and she said, "Can you believe it? Last year I was just 3, and this year I'm gonna be 4." Like, it was a huge deal for her. And an adult may laugh at something like that because to them 4 years is not a big deal. But if you think about it, people who live for multiple centuries or multiple decades, nobody lives for multiple centuries. At least we haven't seen anyone who's lived for multiple centuries in a while. But a person who's 70 or whatever might think of this person as a child because of all the experience that they've gained. And there was a good video on Reddit because I've always wondered what would old age feel like. I've spent a lot of time with old people, and there was a nice video on Reddit about this 90-something-year-old philosopher. All right, before this video ends, because I really need to end the series, or the 3-part thing, my point is, no matter how long you live, whether you live for 500 years, whether you live for 1,000 years, which might be like if you change the laws of physics a little bit, if you live on a planet that does more rotations around the sun or whatever, hypothetically, and if you are still an Earth human, and if you still carry the same amount of years, you might relatively live longer. And it doesn't matter, because no matter how long people live, they would keep thinking, oh, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. So immortality is a lie, I think, in my opinion, because it's not about how long you live. It's actually about how you look at your life. Because most people, this is how you usually go through life. You go pebble by pebble by pebble, and oh, suddenly, what is this? It's a metal rod. It's a key, all right, and this looks big and dangerous. What is this? Oh, this is a book. And then there's that door that I was talking to you about. Or they might go this way, focus on one object at a time. Oh, we're passing through a ball. We're passing through what looks like a ball, but now it's made of a different material. It's got a different shape. Oh, it's bigger now. It's bigger. Oh, we're done with this. What's gonna come next? Looks like a bit of metal. It looks just like this, because it's a new beginning. And that's how you form and craft. You don't look at these things objectively, but if you can look at your life in this sort of way, all these pebbles at once, then you get an understanding of how life works and why you feel old or why you feel young and everything. It's not something that's easy to do in one take. So basically, no matter how long people will live for, they'll never ever be satisfied, because they always want more and more and more and more and more. But a solution is, well, I don't know if it's a practical solution, but if people want to be happy, what they want to do is, they want to look at all of their life objectively and think of all of life as one big moment, and also learn to enjoy each moment in a way that as it is, because things are going to change, and change is the only constant, as